Hello and welcome to Derp Derp and Friends Reviews. I'm Derp Derp,
I'm Ski Nerd.
and remember to hit that like, subscribe, comment. We are currently sitting at over 24K subscribers, and let us know your opinion on our title schemes because we are currently playing around trying to find one that works. And I don't think I have anything else. Let's get right into the review.
Hi. Alright, what episode did we leave off on? 21?
48.
Oh, I'm way behind. Oh, jeez, mister.
While he is,
Uh,
I did think of one other thing. This is our last part of our current format. Starting sometime next week, we're gonna start doing season to season. Try to do a season a week. When we get to the ones that are over 50 episodes, 100 episodes, we will do them in 2 or 3 parts. Because we won't be able to watch them all in one week. Even
nope.
I can't do that much.
You can't do it. Definitely can't do it.
I'm hoping for us to get the second season done and ready to review by at least Friday. As soon as we're done here, I'm probably going to start watching it myself. Or I might play some Samurai Warriors. Let's.
Okay.
Episode 48 is called The Town of the Beginning and the End. Landfall at Logetown.
So, this episode, everybody goes on a shopping spree. And I mean, well, everyone but Luffy. They all
Luffy
go
just
out their own
wants.
separate ways.
Yeah.
Zoro wants to buy weapons. Usopp wants to buy stuff for his slingshot and miscellaneous gear.
Sandry wants to buy food.
Sanji wants to look at for ingredients. And Nami is just doing some general shopping for random crap. Makes sense. And in this time, we learned that Zoro has no money, and so he borrows money from Nami. And before he borrows the money, she reminds him, "Oh, don't forget, there's a 300% interest, and you have to owe me for this and this. If you don't pay me back in the X amount of time, you owe me extra." Blah blah blah. Sanji's also picking up girls like Brock. And we see Captain Smoker. And in this town, everybody gets the new wanted posters. And Luffy's is the one that's like traveling around town, and people are saying, "Oh, we think we saw him arrive in the city, somewhere in the city." But Captain Smoker doesn't even look at it. He's just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll find him." And Captain Smoker runs into Luffy, asking, and Luffy's asking for directions, so he thinks Luffy's just a tourist, and he's like, "Oh yeah, follow the smoke," because
this is Captain Smoker.
Whatever reason he can make the smoke go, I don't know. He's just blowing in a general direction. Anyways, what are you saying?
Because I put a picture of him on stream.
Got it. He asked for directions on how to get to the execution block where Gold Roger was executed. So Luffy follows that general direction for a little bit, and he runs into a bar called the Bar Gold Roger, or the Gold Roger Bar. and he sees that this particular bar is empty, and he sees an old man in the corner sitting and drinking, and they start to have a talk, and he's like, oh, what? He's like, oh, hey, we're closed. He's like, oh, well, I saw the bar that said Gold Roger Bar, and I was just curious about like what's in here and stuff. He's like, oh, you need to go away. Oh, get out here. I'm an old man. Grr, grr, grr. And they have a common interest when he finds that Luffy is fascinated by Gold Roger, and he talks about the time when Gold Roger was executed, and he's like, oh yeah, that was X amount of time ago. We learned that it's 22 years ago that this happened, and we learned that Gold Roger was born here, and he died here, and the bartender mentioned that he knew Gold Roger because he served him drinks a couple times, or from time to time he would serve him drinks, and he said that he had a special like smile and a special like confidence in him, and he sees kind of the same excitement and smile in Luffy, so they share a drink with each other, and but it's not a drink, it's milk, because Luffy doesn't drink apparently. And so and then Captain Smoker comes in for a drink of his own. He's like, oh, get out of here! You're the reason my pirates don't come in here anymore, because you're capturing them all. Haha. And as soon as Captain Smoker comes in, Luffy leaves, and right after he leaves, poster of Monkey D. Luffy had the straw hat, and he's like, wait a minute, that was the guy! Oh no, oh crap! Where was that guy going again? And so Luffy starts to climb he gets to the execution tower, he starts to climb it, and some Navy guy is just like, hey, you can't climb that. He's like, well, why not? And Captain Smoker's like right behind him, like 2 seconds later. And he's like, hey, yeah, you heard the man, get off there. And he's like, huh? What? And he kind of challenges him to a fight. He's like, you're not going to the Grand Line until you defeat me. He's like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Anyways. And then he reminisces about the Captain Smoker reminisces about the time where Gold Roger died 22 years ago, and even he sees the same like smile that Gold Roger had. He was about, I don't know, he was a little kid when it happened, but he saw him get executed, and he mentioned that Gold Roger, walked tall. And he wasn't slouching, he wasn't afraid, he was just calm and a proud person, even when he got executed. Let's see, what else did I write? Luffy makes a mistake. What was the mistake he made? Do you remember?
He goes up to the executioner block and does not get approached by Buggy and does not recognize him.
Yeah, I think so. No, that was later on.
Oh.
That was a different episode. This is because Buggy's in the bar, and Buggy's like, he just landed, and he's in that Gold Roger bar, and he's in there taking a drink, and everybody's searching for Luffy. But anyways, Luffy made a mistake or something, I can't remember. If you
Super Gamer Replay, maybe you remember. Do you remember what mistake he makes? Mike, Big Mike. Because he's
Oh, I combined episode 48 and 49. We're on 49 right now. That's my bad. What is episode 49 called?
Kitetsu the Third and Yubashiro, Zoro's new swords, and the woman sergeant major.
Okay. Maybe his mistake was like a... I remember what happened with Luffy's mistake. Luffy was doing a Gum attack, and he wrapped his arm around a fountain, and it flung him away. So he's able to get away from the Gum. That's what it was. Yep, and then Buggy was in the bar, and he's asking about... they're trying to find Luffy. And then...
we were trying to remember what mistake Luffy made. But
it was during his first battle with Captain Smoker. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Anyways, so cuts to Zoro, and he sees a blue-haired woman getting jumped by some pirates, and he's ready to take action, but she can handle it. She has a sword herself, and she's able to handle it. And he's like really impressed, but her glasses fall off, and people are making fun of her, like, "Oh my god, your glasses fell off! Oh my god!" And he goes to pick up the glasses, and he hands it out to her, and he sees her face, and it looks like what's her name? Quina. Yeah, the girl he grew up with, and they were sword fighting. The girl who died, and she looked She looks pretty much exactly like her, and so he accidentally crushes the glass because he's shocked. And oh my god, you owe me money for my for glasses. So she brings him to the local Navy HQ. And she's like, "Here, you can work by sweeping up stuff." And so he starts doing that, and he learns that she actually works for the Navy, and she's a sergeant major, and a couple other Navy people that are cleaning as well. He decides to clean with 3 brushes instead of 1. He's like, "Oh, even brushing with these is easier than 3." And 2 of them recognize him, and so they're like, "Hey, you're under arrest." And he's like, "Okay, I'm getting the hell out of here." So he knocks him out, and he leaves a note with some money for the glasses. So then they're in the sword shop. He goes to the sword shop now that he has a little bit of money that he got from Nami. He has about 100,000 berries. So this entire episode could be like a video in itself for how much lore and details in it. But this entire scene in the sword shop, literally, I was watching this last night. I think it took me an hour because I was trying to figure out what the heck all these swords are, trying to write down all the stuff that's happening, having to rewatch stuff like, well, what did they say? How did it seem to go? And even still, I don't know a lot about it. There's a little bit I don't know. Anyways, the shortstop team, he walks into the sword shop, and he sees the guy there, and he's like, "Hi, I would like to buy 2 swords." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. How much do you have?" "I have 100,000. "Oh, 100,000 each? "No. 100,000 total." He's like, "Oh, well, I thought you were a big spender, but I guess not." "No, you must be a real amateur." And so he sees He's like, oh, let me see this other sword that you have. And he notices it's, this is Kuina's, let's see, Kuina's Wado Ichimoji sword, and he plans on ripping Zoro off by offering him a lowball amount. He's like, oh, that's a nice, pretty little sword. I can give you 200,000 berries for this. And he's like, well, I mean, fine, 300,000. There, 300,000. Then you could sell it, and you could buy 3 swords for 100,000 each. And he's like, well, no, okay, fine, 500,000. 1 million berries. And then the blue-haired girl walks back in. And, she immediately, says, "Oh, you're a heartless person. You just walked out on your job, but whatever. Here's your money back. I don't want it. But I got new glasses anyway, so it's all good." But she sees his sword, and immediately she's just like, "Oh my God, this is the Wado Ichimoji sword," and she has this like little book which has all the swords in it, all the good swords in it, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is that sword, blah blah blah. Yeah, this is worth about 10 million berries." And the owner is just like, it's like, "Hey, how dare you do this? I'm going to sue you for obstruction of funds." And she's like, "What? What are you talking about?" Let's see, where were we? All right. So he's like, "Okay, yeah, I know I tried to rip you out. Yeah, but whatever. You only have 50,000 each. Yeah, look in those barrels over there." And so, this thing is also freaking bad, but can I say badass? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know.
I think you're safe for like 1 or 2 curse words if we want to keep PG for the kids. Is that okay, Mike?
Well, then I will say it, because this scene is...
Is that okay with you, Super Game Replay?
Anyways, so he's looking through these swords, and he notices one of the swords is really fine quality. It's a red sword, or a red hilt. Sorry, it's a red sword with like a gold hilt or whatever. Yeah, and this blue-haired girl, she's like, "Wait, is that sword? I think it is." And she looks through her book again. She's like, "Oh yeah, it's called the Kitetsu 3, and it was in a series of the." And then she goes on saying, "Yeah, the Kitetsu 2 series was the Owazamonos, and the Kitetsu 1s, which preceded that, was the top Owazamonos. And this is the Kitetsu 3s, which is the real Wazamonos. And the top Wazamonos, aka the Kitetsu 1, there's 21 of them. Wazamono, Kitetsu 2, there's 21 of those. And the real Wazamono, Kitetsu 3, there are 50 of them." And she turns to the store owner and she says, why is this in here? You could go for at least $1 million. They're in good quality. And he feels really guilty. He's just like, yeah, I know I'm selling it for that much, but only because it's a cursed sword, and every one of the Kitetsu 3s are cursed sword. Like, everyone who's had these swords has met with a gruesome death. And so it's basically in the bargain bin. And he even says, he's like, yeah, I've been trying to get rid of that sword for a long time, but I feel like if I do get rid of it, then I'll be cursed. So he hasn't got rid of it yet. And let's see. Lord Sergeant Major Woman, yep. And to test, he's like, And actually Zoro is so, good with swords, he could tell that this sword is cursed already just by touching it and feeling it. He's like, yeah, I kind of figured this was cursed. He's like, you knew it was cursed before of course, anything? Oh my god. And so he's like, well, let's test the curse versus my luck. So he tosses the sword in the air, puts out his arm, and immediately the sword owner's like, what are you doing? That sword will cut right through your bone. It's super sharp. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And miraculously, it doesn't hit his arm and lands on the ground. And this scene is like super intense. Like, you're like, holy crap! Like this Zoro guy is insane. So the blue-haired girl falls to the floor. She basically faints on her knees, and even the same thing happens to the store owner because they're baffled at what they've just seen. Crazy stuff. So Zoro, he's like, yep, I'm gonna get this one. Cursed Wazamono. And then after that happens, the store owner is so impressed that he runs into the back, comes back, and he has another sword called the Yubashiri, which is a Ryu Wazamono sword, aka a Katetsu 3. So this other sword is cursed as well. However, he says that I haven't seen a person, a swordsman's eyes like yours in a long time. And I feel honored that you're here. And so I'm just going to give you these swords for free. No charge. Sorry for trying to swindle you earlier, kind of thing. And what I have, the question I have, maybe Mike can answer this, is, oh, by the way, this Yuba Shiri sword is a black lacquer sword with the gold trim for the hilt or whatever, and it's also super very sharp. So my question is, because it's also is this a Katetsu 3 sword? Because they don't mention any curse about this sword, but I'm pretty sure this one's also cursed. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Anyways, so what I wrote in my notes. Oh, right. I wrote super intense info dump just for swords. Like, the creator of this manga / show, I don't know what his name is, but
Ichiro Oda.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Oda. He took the time to do all this research just for swords, put all this lore into it for these swords to make you appreciate what Zoro has bought, and makes you you're basically in awe of what Zoro has just purchased. It's kind of like what's like a famous like weapon or whatever. I suppose like Cloud's weapon, like that giant Buster sword.
Yep.
You know, if you saw it as a collector or whatever, as a toy collector or whatever, you saw it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Or certain characters, like you see, like you see a Dragon Ball, on sale. You go to an anime convention, you see a Dragon Ball, and you're like, oh my god, that means so much to me. Like this, he puts all of that detail and research into just this one episode, just for Zoro's swords. How many shows would do this? Holy crap. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, I wrote, wow, this guy has done his research. He must do research! Anyways, and then, after this scene, he's, actually, also in the shop, the blue-haired girl mentions, oh yeah, there's this guy who also has like these swords. His name is Roronoa Zoro, and yeah, he's a bounty hunter, but yeah, he's pretty powerful. And then Zoro's like, oh yeah, I've heard of that name. So he walks out of the store with his new swords, and you could just see the black, the red, and the white. You see those, and you're like, wow, that means something. Anyways, that's cool. Let's see. Oh, right. And then there's a scene where, of course, Luffy is still looking for that. Is because he got tossed or whatever. In the last episode, he got tossed by making his quote unquote mistake, and he flew flying through the air. All the pirates that are looking for him see him, and so they're like, "Oh, we know Luffy's here. He's somewhere in this city." And Luffy is trying to find his way back to the executioner place, but he has no sense of direction. So he and Buggy are in the same place, trying to look for different things, and it's kind of a funny, like, not really cat and mouse, but they're all always happen to be looking in the wrong spots for the things that they want. And he asks Buggy, "Hey, where's this thing? Where's the execution spot? Oh, it's that way. Okay, thank you." And he starts running away, and he's like, and Buggy looks at him from the back. He's like, "Wait a minute! Oh crap, that was him!" That was fun. Anyways, the blue-haired girl's name is
Toshigi.
Toshigi. I got that right. Haha. So she's a sergeant major, and then she is the two people that Zoro knocked out previously while working. They said that was Roronoa Zoro, the green-haired guy, and she was like, "Wait, that was Roronoa Zoro? Oh, that deceiver! He tricked me," even though he did not. Anyways, wow, yeah. See, I told you that there's a lot of stuff to talk about in that episode. That could have been its own episode. Holy crap! All right, episode 50. What is the title of episode 50?
Usopp versus Kazuri no Daddy. Or, I didn't put the English, apparently.
Alright.
Mahiro no Keto.
Alright. Let's see.
Pardon my very bad Japanese.
Alright. So it starts off with Luffy finding Zoro, and he's like, "Oh, hey Zoro, what are you doing here?" "Oh, I was just chilling. After I got these swords and just kind of looking around." He's like, "What? What are you doing here?" And Luffy, smugly and proudly goes, "I'm lost." He's like, and Zoro is like, "Why would you say that?" So then it cuts to another scene where this guy, I think he has a cowboy hat, I can't remember, but we later learn his name is Daddy Masterson. He gets jumped by a bunch of like 5 or 6 pirates, and he's able to defeat them. And then it cuts to Usopp. And he has a full backpack, comes out of a store, walks into a junk store, and he sees some goggles. And he's like, "Oh crap, these goggles are awesome. I'm a sniper. I need excellent goggles." And the lady's like, "Do you have money for it?" He's looking in his pockets. Yeah, I got it here somewhere. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. And to be clear, these goggles are like really good, and it's the only pair in the city. And this little girl comes in the store, and she notices those goggles that are on the counter. She's like, "Oh, look, goggles! Can I get those?" And Usopp's like, what? No, I was gonna get them. And she's like, because she's a little girl. He does the tongue out with the eye thing, anyways. And so she gets the goggles, and Usopp starts to bully this girl, and he's like, hey, you should give me those goggles. I mean, I can pay for it. Like, I think you should give them to me. Like, and he starts like lying. He's like, I'm a big nasty pirate. My poster was, I just was put on a pirate poster, and we're worth 30 million bounty, and I just defeated all these fishmen. There was 300 of them. You should be terrified of me. And so immediately the girl like turns to her dad like, Dad? And her dad is Daddy Masterson. And Usopp, Daddy Masterson is like, he's like, yeah, it's, he's like, I won't do anything to you. Just leave us alone and we'll be okay. I know you wanted these goggles, but they're mine now. And he pushes his luck and he's like, no, I think I should take the goggles too. And he's like, and she's like, what, he just let you go and you say something stupid like that? So Usopp pushes his luck and he challenges this guy to a duel, not knowing that this is Daddy Masterson. What's his other name? He has the other name.
Daddy the Father.
Daddy the Father. Cool. That did make it. It's a horrible name.
That's what they mainly call him, is Daddy the Father.
Okay. It's still not a very good name. Let's see. So Usopp. Oh, they start to duel, and there's a crowd that gathers, and Nami comes up, and she's like, "Oh, what's happening? Oh, there's a duel going on? Oh, yeah." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, someone's challenged the best sniper in the East Blue, Daddy the Father," and she's like, "Oh, I wonder who the idiot is that challenges this guy. It's frickin' Usopp." And after they count, they're supposed to count to 10 before they shoot each other. And they get to 8, and he does a smoke bomb. Usopp does a smoke bomb, and he gets shot. Anyways, but he gets shot where his slingshot is, and he's able to, he cowers, and everybody is disappointed. And he recognizes his name, Usopp, and he's like, "Wait a minute, is your dad's name Yasopp?" He's like, "Yeah, that's my dad, absolutely." And there's like, excuse me, he's like, "I've never told this to anyone." So he tells us a story about how when he was younger, he faced up with another sniper called Yasopp, and he lost. And Yasopp didn't finish him off. He let him go free because he noticed that he had a Daddy the Father had a kid, and Yasopp's like, "Yeah, I have a kid too. Like, I'm not a very good dad, but the ways of the pirate called to me, so I had to leave." And he doesn't forget that, and ever since then, he, instead of being in the Navy, became a bounty hunter that took very little risks so he could, take care of his daughter, and which was nice. And let's see. And so after hearing this story, Usopp is like, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm such a coward. I need to challenge you again. This time to the death." And Nami hears this, like, and is like, "Why would you do that?" he let you go. He's like, no, I can't go around being a coward everywhere. I have to be a warrior. And so he's like, I have to put my life on the line, that whole line thing. And so the challenge, it's not a traditional duel. This time it's a Usopp hit that, I think it was a weather vane. He wanted to hit that 100, 200 yards away or whatever. And putting his life on the line is, if you miss it, I will shoot you dead. And so this puts a lot of pressure on Usopp, and he agrees to this. And he musters everything into the shot, and he takes his time, and he's thinking about, the people he grew up with. What's Kaya, and his Usopp pirates and his village, and he thinks about them, and he shoots, and someone says, "Oh my God, he missed it." I think Nami says that, and Daddy, the father, takes another look, and he's like, "No, he hit it clean through the weather vane." So he feels redeemed, and what happens next? It was really good. Online. So yep, the girl and Usopp learn a lesson, and Usopp, after he starts crying because he says, like, as a coward myself, I wouldn't have the courage to tell a story that makes me look bad like that, when he's talking about the Yasopp story. And he gets really moved by that, and he says to the little girl, your dad is like the bravest man I know, and you should be really proud of him. And she stops becoming a brat, and she's like, I'm going to be a nice person from now on, kind of thing. And they give Usopp the goggles that he wanted. And they're like, yeah, this is for you, because we think you'll need them, and you earn them. You earned them. You deserve them. So, yeah, that was heartwarming. Man, see, this is why we need to change our format, because I'm way too freaking detailed.
That's what we're gonna do starting next week.
Yep, OCD. Okay. So
I even started the notes. I just did the title name, and I went on Wikipedia and did like the full synopsis. But we can just pick out from it. We don't have to do everything.
Yeah, if there's like an episode that doesn't make any sense,
Yep.
we'll just do a short little thing. There's a fight that happens, and people start vomiting. The food is bad. Or
But
something.
I mainly did the full synopsis just so if we question something, I can go back to look at it.
Yeah.
Like that.
All right. So episode 51. This one's a little shorter.
Fiery cooking battle. Sanji versus the beautiful chef.
All right. Cool. So Sanji meets some female. And she's like, I've been waiting.
Five Alarm Carmen is her name.
What?
5 Alarm Carmen.
5 Alarm Carmen. Oh, I did not know that. I forgot to write her name down. Okay, so Sanji meets 5 Alarm Carmen, and she challenges him to a cook-off, explaining that she's the #1 chef, and she went to his appointment, and he wasn't there, and she's been searching for him, and her assistants look kind of funny. That's pretty great. Cook-off championship. So she challenges him to a cook-off in this upcoming tournament called the Cook-Off Championship that's happening later in the day. And Sanji has no desire to fight this lady in a cookout. He's just like, yeah, I'm just looking for ingredients. I don't really care. And he goes to this fish market, and he's seeing fish from the West Blue, and he's like, wait a minute, it was East Blue, South Blue, I don't know. One of the other blues from the West Blue, I guess. And he's like, oh, that's weird. And he gets explained that because of the Grand Line and the weird currents, sometimes fish cross over, and he immediately thinks of the All Blue, and he's just like, oh, maybe the All Blue is real. And there's this someone comes in, and there's a big crowd gathering. Oh, someone caught something. Oh, well, I wonder what it is. And it is a elephant bluefin tuna. And this is nowhere to be seen in the East Blue or the West Blue. It's from the South Blue, I think. And he says, how is that fish here? He's like, yeah, the currents, they can get all wonky sometimes. And he's like, he goes up to the guy, he's like, wait, I want to buy that from you. I want to buy that. He wants to cook with his fish, to see how it is. And so they say, no, you can't buy it because this is going to be the prize for the upcoming cooking tournament. So this forces Sanji to do the cooking tournament. So he signs up. I believe he finds Nami and Usopp there, and they get to watch him during this cook-off tournament. Competition starts. He reminisces about his All Blue dream. Sanji wins, of course, and the Carmen tells him before they're able to announce the winner. She says, I remember you on a ship like 10 years ago, and I've always wanted to cook like you, and now I got to face you, but next time I'll beat you for sure, kind of thing. And so he wins. He gets the fish, and Luffy finally finds the execution place, and that's where it leads into episode 52.
Buggy's Revenge, the man who smiles on the execution platform.
Yes. So at the beginning of this episode, Luffy is at the top of the execution platform, and people are like yelling at him, and they're like, "Hey, get off there! You're not supposed to be up there. It's stolen property." And the pirates are looking for him, mainly Buggy, and we learn that this female pirate that's traveling with Buggy, her name is Alvida.
Yep.
And Alvida is from the very first episode, and she mentions like, "Hey, you were the first man that hit me." And the crowd looks at Luffy is like, "Oh, you hit this woman?" And he's like, "What? I don't even know who you are." And she looks a little different.
A little.
She'd say she lost a few pounds.
A little.
Yep. And
a few.
She mentioned that she ate a devil fruit, and now her skin is miraculous. And she doesn't. It's funny because she doesn't mention the weight. She's like, "Yeah, of course I look different. I don't have freckles anymore, and my skin's a lot smoother." And then Luffy's like, "Huh? I still don't recognize you." Oh. And she says she has smooth powers from the devil fruit. And then there's
it is technically called the the Sube Sube no Mi is the, which I think in English translates to slip slip. Yep.
It's Smooth Devil. And it has to do with her skin is all smooth and stuff like that. At this moment, when right after the cooking competition, they got the giant fish and they're carrying it. There's a storm that starts to approach, and then Sanji and Nami are like, yeah, I think there's a storm approaching. We need to get this food on to the ship like right away. Let's see.
And one of the powers of the fruits just happens to be anybody overweight that eats it, the fat just simply slips off of them. That's why she lost all the weight.
And Buggy arrives as well, and Luffy does not recognize Buggy. And he's just like, Bolly, Billy, Blabby. Oh, right, you, Buffoon. He's like, no, my name's not Buffoon.
You should have said Bozo. That would have been funny.
Bozo, yeah, great. Let's see. And Buggy's plan is to execute Luffy, so the acrobat comes out of nowhere and takes a block and puts it on Luffy's hands and head are locked. And they're all like, yes, we're here for a grand execution. And Luffy's like, ooh, an execution? I haven't seen one of those before. And Buggy's up there and he's like, no, we're going to execute you. He's like, what? You're going to execute me? No, don't do that. So he's in trouble, and Zoro and Sanji see this crowd of people after Buggy appears. They're like, oh, Buggy's pirates. So they see this crowd of people running away from the execution area, and so Sanji and Zoro run off, and Nami and Usopp are tasked with getting back to the ship even faster than before. Because Nami says, we have to run fast because if the Buggy pirates are here, that means the Navy is going to stop all people from getting off the island. And we need to get out of here and get the stuff on the ship. So then it cuts to Captain Smoker, and his plan is to surround them in the buildings. And as soon as Luffy's executed, one less pirate to deal with, then they're going to take care of Buggy and Alvida. However, something divine, miraculous happened. And right as Luffy's about to be executed, that there's Captain Smoker notices that the sword's coming down, and Luffy he's like, oh, Nami, Sanji, Usopp, Zoro. Oh, looks like I failed. Well, this is goodbye. And he just smiles, and Smoker gets a
chills.
Nostalgic feeling. What?
Chills.
Yeah, and it was the same. It was a Gold Roger-esque on how he was acting and stuff like that. So that was just kind of crazy. It's like, wow, that's cool. Leads me to a theory that's just popped into my head. Anyways, but no time for that now. We got a review to do. All right. So lightning comes down and strikes Buggy instead. The tower falls over, and Luffy gets up. He's like, and all the pirates, mouths open, no sound, pans to all these pirates with their mouths open. They can't believe what just happened. And Luffy just nonchalant gets up. Oh boy, I almost died. Oh well, lucky me. Oh hey Zoro, hey Sanji, and they can't believe it either. Like, was this divine intervention? What happened? Which is another amazing scene. Excuse me. So at this moment, Captain Smoker's like, yeah, attack. And they surround the pirates and they start attacking. And Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji start running away. And Captain Smoker is like, oh. Or no. Buggy and Alvida see this. And they're like, oh, run after him. Oh, that's in the next episode, sorry. So that's the end of episode 52. Oh, right. Oh, sorry, I forgot some things. I forgot a line. Oh, no, that is the next episode.
53 in the last episode of this format. The legend has started. Head for the Grand Line.
Oh, I thought we were going to episode 54.
54 is the start of the filler.
Oh, whoopsies. That's okay, we get it.
I meant stop at 54. Meaning, don't watch 54.
Oh. I thought... Yeah. Okay, my bad. Well, I already read. Saw it. Because you said 7 and 7, so it would have been 7 and 6 then. So I was like, oh, 7 and 7, okay. Anyways, doesn't matter anymore. So episode 53, Pirates attacked. So after, Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro start running for the ship, Buggy gets in. He has his chop powers, so he's able to kind of do a transformer thing. He turns into a car or a buggy, and which is kind of funny because his name is Buggy. Ha ha ha! Get it? Ha 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 ha! I'll stop. And then Alvida has the power to make things less frictiony, have basically no friction. So she can use her feet and skate on any surface and make it have it almost no friction, basically, and to make the car go faster. And so they start going, and then Captain Smoker stops them, and he's like, no, you guys aren't going anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And then he starts going after Luffy, or maybe I think he just starts going after Luffy. Anyways, doesn't matter. So Captain Smoker catches up to Luffy and Sanji and Zoro. Sanji and Zoro keep moving. He's like, oh, yeah, just go to the ship. They're like, okay, whatever. And they keep going, and they start fighting a little bit. It cuts to Usopp and Nami going to the ship. They see Moji, the lion tamer, there. And the Navy's also there, and we see Moji. He's trying to light the ship on fire, but he can't because it's been raining and stuff like that. So he's trying and trying. Then the Navy arrives, and they start shooting the Moji, and Nami and Usopp are like, oh crap. So they try to get the stuff onto the ship as quickly as possible. And then Sanji and Zoro arrive, and they're cutting down these Navy people so that they're not distracted on the ship. And so Nami and Usopp start sailing away, and there's no way that she can go back. She can't stop. Usopp jumps off to try to help out with the Navy, and let's see. Luffy and Captain Smoker are fighting, and then there's this weird cloaked guy with a tattoo on his face, and Smoker knows who he is, and he's like, Dragon, what are you doing stopping my fight? And Captain Smoker is actually about to defeat Luffy, and because Luffy's not used to he has smoke powers, which allows him to control smoke. Hence, Captain Smoker. So all of a sudden, this dragon guy appears, and he's like, yeah, we have other things in mind, but he doesn't mention like what the we is. And
you don't find out for a very, very long time.
Yep, and all of a sudden there's just like this weird green wind that happens all over the island. Buggy and Alvida are trapped in nets from Captain Smoker, and they're able to escape because of this weird wind. And Luffy's able to escape because due to this weird wind he gets blown away, and a lot of ships in the area kind of are affected by this too. And it's weird. Anyways, all aboard, and Luffy sees Going Merry like sailing away, and he's like, "Oh, we gotta make it all that far because it's far away." He's like, "Oh, I got an idea. Come on, whip!" Or whatever it is he uses, and Zoro looks at him like, I don't like the look in his eye, and basically he slings back and grabs everyone, and they fling onto the ship, escaping, and Buggy and Alvida, is it Avita or Alvida?
Alvida.
Alvida with an L, okay. Alvida. Buggy and Alvida escape on their ship, and Captain Smoker decides to go to the Grand Line. So we're going on a journey to the Grand Line. And now it's filler. Now this kind of makes sense that the latest episode that I saw. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I guess it is just filler. It's not the main story. Which reminds me, we are not doing the filler episodes. We are just doing the main story episodes.
As much as we can, because some filler will be interspersed and hard to really tell.
And don't worry, we will be informed by Mulcat. You've seen him on a couple of reviews. He's going to tell us which ones are filler and which ones aren't, so we ourselves won't be confused. And then, if we do something wrong, you can let us know in the comments if you're actually there, if you're actually watching, or maybe you're just ghosts and you're not watching. I don't know.
Are you still watching it? There's nobody watching.
I just watched the first episode. I just watched 54, but I will be watching the filler episodes. I just won't.
No, I meant.
Taking
Alright, I already got my answer. I was asking if you're still watching the stream, but I already got the answer.
No, I had to pause it because I was getting feedback.
I looked it up and I got the answer in mid-question. There is nobody currently watching. That was our... I assume we're done?
Yeah, I think we're done.
That was our review.
So what is the next episodes? It's
entering the Grand Line.
I'm sorry. Where does after the filler? What episode does it start? Is it 62? Which is the next?
Yeah, 62. But on Netflix, it'd just be the second season.
Oh, okay.
Because majority of that is the Reverse Island and Wispy Peak arcs. And I think there's one other. It's only 15 episodes. because the second and third seasons are 15 apiece. And the one after that is 30. But that was our review. Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know about our naming of our videos. We're still playing with it. We want your feedback. And just comment what we should watch next once we're done with One Piece. Or comment, because for our movie reviews, we decided in the month of October we won't do a horror movie each week. The last 2 weeks of October, we'll each choose one horror movie.
Yep. Very horrible horror movies. What movies scare me? That's what I gotta be myself.
I honestly don't have any idea what I'm gonna choose, so put down some suggestions. Because I want to choose something I haven't seen, and I've seen a lot of horror movies.
It can't be the this is like above everything. It can't be the what do they call it? I just saw something on this. Paranormal Activity. I can't do this.
Yeah, plus I wouldn't want to just do one movie. I'd want to do all of them. That's the one thing. I want to do something that's not of a series. Because if we do first one of a series, we're going to want to review all of them, watch and review all of them, not just the first one.
Yep. Yeah, but I need to watch episode 54. There's a lot of stuff that was happening. Commodore Nelson Royal, and this guy named Eric, Dragonite, and Immortality Elixir, and the Calm Belt. Yeah, I can see why this is filler. So, makes sense. But yeah, Mike.
He's no longer watching.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But what did you want to ask him?
Oh, it wasn't anything related to anime. It has to do with sports. So, yeah.
But, I was assuming we'll do the second season by Friday. Join us for sure Wednesday for Pokemon D&D. That's all I know off the top of my head.
Alright, this is going good.
I'm Derv.
I'm Skinner. Sayonara.